When you're so focused on yourself and almost to a point where it's like, oh, I don't need a man. Like, is that all that I'm worth? That actually marked the end of my long-term partnership with Gymshark, which it almost felt like a leap of faith. This may not be a forever thing. We actually addressed it. That wasn't for any reason. Like, and I don't think I even wanted to be a forever thing. Just willingly signed up to have a meal with this man. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another video. This is not a vlog. This is actually gonna be a cozy little sit-down Q&A session just to catch up, maybe get to know me. Couldn't tell you the last time I did Q&A on my channel. Actually, I did do one during a Vlogmas period, which totally flopped, but I think the one before that, probably 2020. Fresh out of college, talking about post-grad plans. But yeah, fast forward, it's 2025. I'm 27 years old. I'm in my late 20s. Oh my goodness gracious. I can't seem to wrap my head around that every time I think about it. No, but actually I think this age, being this age, is really cool. Really stepping into my adult years, even though sometimes it does not feel like I'm an adult at all. But anywho, I did ask you guys over on Instagram to send any questions my way. So I'll definitely be pulling questions from here, but also whatever tangents I may go off on, I'm just gonna let myself go because it's just gonna be a chit-chatty afternoon. I didn't get a chance to look at everything, but I definitely am seeing a lot of patterns here. So many questions about running, which I will definitely get to. Some about my relationship, my favorite this, my favorite that. Let's just get into it. Actually, I have a question for you guys before we get started. I would love to know how you even came to find my channel. Which video did you see first? I'm definitely curious because I feel like people who are more recently subscribing to me probably found me through maybe my running videos and whatnot, but I feel like I had multiple eras before that. Had a few years of just being a real big gym girl, which I can get to, and then way back when, the start of this whole channel, my college days. Definitely would love to know when you first found my channel and maybe what video brought you here. I just want to thank you guys for even being here, and if you guys would like to grab a drink, a snack to sip on, chow on, please feel free. I actually have a matcha here, if you can see. You know, that's pretty good. Nami matcha plus almond milk. I don't know if my ratios were right or anything. I am such a noob when it comes to matchas, but I feel like at 4 p.m. it's the more suitable choice of a beverage. I've already had my coffee this morning, so. And I also have some fruit here, so I'll just be nibbling on that. I've been so deprived of fruits and veggies, honestly. It's bad. I'm having meals with my boyfriend Cristo. I feel like we do a really good job of implementing the greens, and then we always have fruit for dessert. I love it. I guess on the topic of Cristo, so many people ask, how did we meet? And I don't think I've ever talked about it on my channel. Honestly, I feel like I kept our relationship pretty private for the first year almost. We are coming up on almost 4 years since our first date. That's crazy. We got set up on a date through mutual friends. A friend of mine who I guess is more of a friend of my sister's. I know her through my sister. She had texted me in the summer of 2021 and was like, hey, are you interested in going on a date with this guy? Literally sent a photo or sent a selfie that Chris had taken of himself and was like, yeah, do you want to go on a date with this guy? Or like, would you be interested? I was actually on a trip in Arizona at the time. So when I got the message, I was like, what? This is so random. Like, this is out of nowhere. Do have to preface, at the time I had been single for 2 whole years. This was also pretty peak pandemic. I was not dating. I was not interested in talking to anyone. Getting a boyfriend or talking to men was like the last thing I wanted to do because I was in my own era, focusing on myself. Given the state of the world, I was happy. I feel like I'm going way too into detail, but yeah, this is just a full story time. Based off the picture, I was like, oh, he's cute and he has a good smile and he's tan, and thought about it for a while. And then once I got back home from my trip to Arizona, I finally texted back and I was like, okay, yeah, you can send him my number. That's how we got into contact. So basically, I'm here, Kristo's here, we both have a friend, and those people are married to each other, and they just know that we exist and we're both single. We're both active people in our 20s, and so they just played matchmaker and set us up on a date. Once he got my number, he texted me and pretty much just set up a date right away, which I loved. I didn't want to deal with the small talk via text or over text, so I liked the initiative. He picked a restaurant and we agreed on a time and a date. Yeah, that was kind of the start of our relationship. Literally after that, we had just continued to go on dates and whatnot. But oh my gosh, I remember being so nervous that day of the date. Yeah, I really don't even think that I've been on like a first date, like a proper first date where a guy has taken me out like that. Or maybe it had just been so long that I didn't remember what it felt like. But yeah, this was different for me because it was kind of a blind date. I mean, I saw his picture before, but never met him, never spoken to him, just willingly signed up to have a meal with this man. I just had to put my trust in the friends who had set us up. Yeah, I remember the morning of, I was so nervous. I literally got to a point where like I felt sick to my stomach because I didn't know how to process the feelings that I was feeling. FaceTiming some friends and was talking it out. I remember I was texting my sister, trying to get my outfit together. I couldn't even eat or have a proper meal before our dinner date. And I think my nervousness continued on the date because from my perspective, it's a little bit of a blur, but Krista says that I was very quiet. And I mean, he honestly thought that I was just bored the whole time, which I feel awful about because that's definitely not what was going through my head. I thought I was contributing to the conversation and answering questions that he had, and that we were just having a chat over dinner. But I think I was just probably thinking so hard and was in my nervousness. I guess, yeah, that's how it came off. But I just know my personality is like, if I'm meeting someone for the first time, I'm not gonna be like, chit-chatting all over the place and like super excited and whatever. I'm very much an introvert, and so it definitely takes time for me to warm up to someone. And I mean, it sucks that I feel like it honestly takes so long for me to warm up to people, for me to like become my goofy self, to like establish those really close friendships. Yeah, I don't know, it had been a while since I've had that with someone, partner or friendship. So pretty sure I expressed that pretty early on too. Like, I'm an introvert, I'm a very shy person, so if we continue at this, I promise my barrier will break down and like I can become more comfortable and whatever. I feel like I manifested that for myself because I remember telling him those things. Telling him, but also saying it out loud because that's something that I knew in myself I wanted in my next relationship. Like, I just wanted a person who is my best friend. And I think a lot of our dates did revolve around working out, which was really fun. We would work out together and I would be in charge, or I would take charge and put together a circuit workout to do or a track workout to do. And they would be brutal workouts. I remember them being tough, but it was so fun to just have someone who would be down to do those with me, someone who enjoyed their active, fit lifestyle. It felt like everything I needed because that is who I am, what I enjoy doing. That's how I like to spend my time. But yeah, anyway, to answer the question, we met through mutual friends. Forever grateful that things just ended up working out between us, and like I didn't have to go through all the freaking dating apps. And it was a very short-lived period of time where I did have a profile on Hinge, I think. I never actually used it, never actually even had a full-on conversation with anyone. Very thankful I didn't have to deal with any of that. I feel like that's always the goal, to just meet someone organically, whether it's through mutual friends or you just like see someone in a coffee shop, just out and about. I know a lot of luck comes into that and just being in the right place at the right time. And especially for adults, it's harder because you're in these routines where you're going to work and you're coming home, or maybe you go to the gym, whatever, but like you're pretty much seeing the same group of people every single day, unless you're traveling a lot or you frequent different restaurants or different places. But a lot of people live pretty mundane, routine lives, so it's hard to see new faces. But I truly believe that timing is everything, and I mean, timing will work out the way that it's supposed to. I don't think anyone will ever be ready for a relationship. Like for me, I was not looking for a relationship at all. I would have been happily single for another few years, but honestly, I think that's sometimes the best time when you're so focused on yourself and almost to a point where it's like, oh, I don't need a man, like whatever. A guy can come around and seamlessly integrate into your life. That's exactly what I wanted. I didn't want my relationship to just take over my life per se. I wanted a relationship that would just sort of mesh with my lifestyle. Over my lifetime on social media, I feel like I have really learned how to balance what I share on social media in regards to my relationship, and out of courtesy for my partner and courtesy for just my pride, I guess. It's a hard thing to navigate because my relationship is such a big part of my life and it's something that I want to share. And I love that with Krista and I's relationship, I've been able to, share glimpses of our dynamic and our relationships and our memories that we've made, the travels that we've gone on, and to share that with you guys is so awesome because I'm sure you guys can tell I'm very happy. But also, it's literally just documentations of our relationship. So literally whenever Krista and I miss our trip to Asia that we took last year, we just go back and watch the Bali vlog. I'm just really grateful for social media, and I'm glad that I've found this balance because I obviously am not vlogging every single day we're hanging out together because that would be a little much. There's no need for that. Like, I've mastered the art of getting the clips that I need and putting the camera away, getting the photos I need and putting the phone away. And I'm sure Christo is appreciative of that because it doesn't feel like I'm always working and there's a camera in his face, but he has definitely stepped in to help me when I need someone, like an extra hand behind the camera. I think that's really important. Finding a supportive partner and someone who you can thrive and be yourself with. I just love him. I just love my boyfriend. He's my best friend too. And we always say that to, like, we tell each other, you're my best friend. Like, just be eating dinner or watching TV or whatever, turn to each other and be like, you're my best friend. And oh, I'm a happy girl. Another question that people had is, would we move in together? / are you planning to move out? / when are you gonna leave your parents' house? I recently started a little series here on my channel, a little vlog series. I feel like I get to just open up and talk more candidly in those vlogs in regards to my living situation and everything that has to do with living at home and being in my late 20s, navigating that, because it's not talked about much. It's not shown much. Based on the comments on those videos, it apparently is way more common than I even realized. So that's great to know. A lot of people spoke on their experience with living at home till they were 28, 29, 30, not even moving out until they moved in with their partner after getting married or like being together for X amount of years. Just been trying to remind myself that that timeline is okay. And it's actually a really smart financial move. Personal finance is something that I don't know too much about. Like, I'm not a super budgety type of person, but I feel like in the last few years I have been on my saving grind, and you know, that all has to do with the fact that I live at home. This year I have been feeling a strong sense that this is going to be the year that I make the move. I'm gonna be so honest and say that as much as I want that to happen, I feel like I cannot force it. I can be actively looking and whatnot, but I cannot fight what the universe is not willing to send my way. I did briefly talk about one sort of heartbreak that I had from this one apartment that I really fell in love with and that I really wanted. We didn't end up getting it. And then immediately after that, there was another apartment that I really wanted. And I was like contacting the person and never responded to me. And then when they finally did, boom, it was gone. And I know the housing market is very competitive and tough here in San Francisco, but like, it's okay for me to take a little step back, a little breather. Like, I don't have to be on Zillow for hours every single day. If it happens, it will happen. Really, the main reason as to why I do want to move out so badly is because I just feel like I'm outgrowing my space. I feel like I would operate better out of having more than just my room. I sleep here, I work here, I get ready here, I will film videos here. I feel like it would just be win-win-wins all around. Number one, I would have the space to live my life. It would be a great step in me becoming an adult. It opens up a space for me to just be creative, even make content about it. Like, that is something I'm so excited for. Not just in creating videos about the moving out process and getting my space together, but just like the actual interior design of it all. To have full creative freedom in how I want the space to look and feel. And honestly, I feel like it would improve the relationship that I have with my family and my parents. I love them, and it's cool that we get to see each other every day and whatnot, but it would make the times that we do get together and have meals together, go grocery shopping together, like just more like special. I don't know, because we're just always with each other. And kind of leaning into the distance makes the heart grow fonder, but like, it wouldn't be that much distance. I plan to stay in San Francisco. If I had it my way, I would live like a mile away, and that would be great. Just to be in a separate space, I think would be great. And then also moving in with my partner would just be a great next step. I don't know. That's the update on that. I think I have a pretty busy first half of this 2025, so I'm not gonna force anything. I do have my marathon coming up in just 2 months now, so really gonna just focus on my work and focus on my training. Who knows? Maybe summertime, maybe by fall, winter. My dream is to be able to host a holiday wherever I end up. I don't know, I think it would just be a fun change in scenery for my family or my partner's family to, yeah. Do I have any experience in being in my hosting era? No, absolutely not. But dinner parties with friends, even just like a dinner date night at home, I just, one day, it's okay, it'll happen. And if you stick around long enough, you will be on the journey with me. All right, our next topic, let's talk about social media. It's just crazy that like over the years, I've just kind of put my trust into what I'm doing, and literally making these videos where I'm sitting and chatting to you guys, or I'm just vlogging my week and whatnot, have become my full-time thing. Last year, maybe a little bit of the year before that, was like the first time where I really took this seriously as a job. I don't think there was ever a specific date or time where it was just like, okay, now I feel like I can fully support myself. A little background on my journey with social media. So I actually started this YouTube channel in college, or actually the summer before college. I just started as a fun little thing to document my travels, and once I got to college, I did a move-in vlog, I did a dorm room tour, typical college content that was really popping off at the time. At my school, SGSU, smarten up. There weren't really any YouTubers or people making videos about the campus, and so definitely helped give my channel some traction. I loved that college era, honestly. I still to this day will go back and watch those videos. I think it's so cool that I was able to document that period of time in my life because I feel like that was a very transformative time for me. I look back on my past self and I'm like, wow, she was pretty good at managing her time. I just continued to do YouTube once I graduated, and at the time the pandemic was very much in action, so finding that 9-to-5 job was definitely tough. I was trying to get my resume together and loosely applying to things, but like didn't really know what I wanted to do. I took that period of time, that 2020 to 2021 year or so, to just go more full-time into YouTube. I had already built up my platform, so might as well just continue doing it. My content just naturally shifted from college to fitness, which is something that I always wanted to share more on my channel, but in college, like I didn't have the time to, you know, film all my workouts. But yeah, then my channel became more of showing people full-on workouts that they can do in the gym or at home or their backyard. I feel like that's sort of where my channel's at now today. Sprinkled in with normal life things, the realities of adulting. And it's really cool. A lot of my audience has, I mean, if you've been around since those college days, then we're literally just growing up together. And we are in similar situations or just similar stages in life. So yeah, I would say that my channel and my platforms, it's been like a slow rise. It was never instant virality on TikTok that I just blew up one night and like boom. I feel like even now, like my stuff doesn't pop off, rarely ever. So for those who do watch, like I really do appreciate it. It can get a little discouraging when I think about it because it's like I feel like I've been doing it for so long. Like I wish my numbers were better, or like I wish things got more views, or just more eyes would see these things, because that's everyone's hope. You're putting in so many hours into editing, especially for YouTube. Like, okay, if a reel or a TikTok doesn't do too well, then it's fine, it's whatever. But for a YouTube video to like not perform, it's tough because my videos can take 10+ hours to edit. But I feel like that goes to show you don't have to have these crazy big numbers on all your platforms, your social media, to make a living out of it. To be honest, I don't think I have the most impressive analytics. My videos do not get hundreds of thousands of views, but that has not stopped me because I've still been able to work with some amazing brands, dream brands. It doesn't matter how many people are watching, it just matters the right people watching. If you are a smaller creator, you're wanting to get into content, make content that aligns with you. Literally so much room. Big creators can thrive, but then also smaller creators, and then also people like kind of in the middle. You just have to find your little corner of the internet. Yeah, I've definitely fallen into that sort of comparison game. I feel like last year was a year where I felt like I was taking a bit more of a risk. July 2024? That actually marked the end of my long-term partnership with Gymshark, which I did get a bunch of questions on that and I never actually addressed it. That wasn't for any reason, like I didn't mean to not ever mention it, but for anyone who's newer here, maybe you don't know, but I was working with Gymshark exclusively for 3 years. 3 freaking years! That's actually, I mean, I'm honestly so proud to be able to say that like I was a Gymshark athlete for 3 years. To have that as like a part of my journey with social media and with fitness, I will forever hold on to that, and that was my dream always. Literally nothing happened, no tea. We just did not renew a new contract. When I first signed with them, I was still pretty new to doing this social media thing full time. This was kind of like my first step into making social media more full time because it was a bit of a steadier income. Working exclusively with a brand usually means that you're getting a base rate per month because you're going to post X amount of YouTube, X amount on Instagram, X amount on TikTok, whatever. And then on top of that, commission. That to me was like a pretty sweet gig. I mean, I was already posting my workouts anyway, so to be repping Gymshark, it's just a partnership that happened so naturally, but then also kind of ended naturally. I would say midway through that partnership, I would have these thoughts, kind of just feeling a little bit lost. What is my purpose here? Yes, I share my workouts and all my cute little Gymshark fits and whatnot, but is that all that I'm worth? Thought of me no longer being a Gymshark athlete almost scared me. I felt this connection to this title. Obviously, it's more than just a title, but it had literally become my identity. I mean, not a terrible thing, but also it's like, I was literally feeling lost. Like, what else can I offer? What else is there to me? So as I got closer to the end of my contract, I, just sort of had to start thinking about this and just accepting that this may not be a forever thing. And I don't think I even want it to be a forever thing. It had gotten to a point where I also wanted to just branch out, just be a fitness loving girl who's not necessarily tied to one brand or one clothing company or one shoe brand or whatever. If you're exclusive with a brand, usually you'll have it in your Instagram bio or whatever, like Chris Huey, Gymshark athlete, you add your link tree, whatever. I was thinking in my head like, oh my god, once Gymshark athlete is out of there, what is there to me? But actually I started to believe in myself a little. My contract ended and no tea again. I was obviously a little nervous because that was no longer a part of my income, but I just had to believe that what I'm doing is enough. It almost felt like a leap of faith, if you want to call it that. I feel like that sounds way more dramatic than it is, but I just had to put my trust into my content, what I was doing, which actually at the time was kind of my start with marathon training. So with me just continuing to share my journey with fitness, my journey with running, which is what I've been doing for all these years, minus my deliverables for one specific brand. It kind of put the enjoyment into sharing my fitness journey again. Parting ways with a company that I had been exclusive with for 3 years and like had really grown a close, I mean, it was like a close partnership. So to close that chapter and enter this new one was definitely scary. And I'll forever be grateful for everything that I got to do. To be one of their only Asian athletes. Little me, this girl from San Francisco, what the heck? Yeah, that was such an honor. It does suck in a sense because I feel like the size of my platform just does not compare to other people on their roster. I think it ultimately did lead me to this next chapter. I think my main takeaway though from that partnership is that it actually made me a better athlete. Helped me become stronger in the gym and more disciplined and more motivated. And it even helped me branch out into new sectors of fitness, aka running. And so that was like the seamless transition for me into this now really finding balance and enjoyment in fitness. And I'm really, yeah, just loving that. It's been so fun partnering with brands I genuinely love so much and use on a daily basis. Like, it just feels so right and it feels so authentic. They're ones that I recommend to you guys, but also to my friends and people who want to get into running. And someone did actually ask me like, what are my top 5 things for running? And I can very easily answer that. My Garmin, my Shocks, my Spy Belt bottles. I guess I can categorize that together. Number 4, I'm like, ooh, either socks or shoes. But I feel like shoes have its own category. I'm gonna say feature socks. Those are must have. And last but not least, LMNT. My watch, my music, my fuel / tools for my fuel, and then also my electrolytes. The electrolytes are crucial. Thank you so much to LMNT for partnering with me on this video. No new news that LMNT is my favorite electrolyte brand. These packets that you mix into water are what I use to stay replenished and rehydrated before, during, and after a workout. They are such an important part to my running routine. I mean, so much so that they are in my top 5 must-have running products, along with their yummy, refreshing, fruity flavors. Each packet has 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, and 60 milligrams of magnesium. No added sugar and just 1 gram of carbs. I sweat a lot during my sessions, especially during harder running sessions and also long runs that take me multiple hours. It's really important to be replenishing the body on all the salts that it's losing. You guys can shop LMNT using my link, drinklmnt.com/sanfrankrisco. That's DRINKLMNT.com/sanfrankrisco. With every LMNT order, you can get a free sample pack. It's gonna come with 8 individual packets in different flavors, so you can test them, try them, share with a salty friend. I actually sent a bunch of LMNT to my dad's jiu-jitsu gym and they were big fans, so I'm happy to spread the love on LMNT. I'll have my link in the description, and thank you again to LMNT for partnering with me on this video. We love LMNT on this channel. They're one of the brands who I purchased on my own. I fell in love with them through the many months of training and talking about them. Very organically, that opportunity came and they have been supporters of this channel. I'm supportive of them. My long runs, my race days would simply not be the same without my LMNT electrolytes. Ah, yes, I love running products. So funny because they say that running is the cheapest sport or whatever. Like, all you need is some shoes and whatnot. But if you love it, you catch the bug. There are so many sectors that you can invest in that will just make your running so much better. And honestly, I'm here for it. Whether that's the shoes, the electronics, the fuel, the recovery. Not to say that you need any of those things, but it is fun. I always get questions on my favorite running shoes. I don't necessarily have a strict rotation. Definitely have more than enough running shoes in my collection, and I just try to swap through those just to test out new shoes and distribute the miles. As of right now though, I have been loving my Brooks Glycerin 22s. I actually talked about them recently in a vlog, and the first week I wore them pretty much nonstop because they were so comfy. Brooks are pretty goated. I feel like they don't get as much hype as they deserve. Also Saucony. I love Saucony. Saucony is one of those brands that I've just been continuously been a consumer of. Actually, I've never partnered with them before, maybe one day. I loved one of their shoes so much that I have 3 pairs of them. Repurchased them multiple times because I was scared that they would not sell them anymore, and I think they are discontinued. My Saucony Endorphin Shift 3s, I literally had to start buying them off of Amazon because they stopped selling them on their site. But yeah, I love those. I actually ran my first marathon in those shoes. This was before I had ever invested in carbon plated shoes. Once I did finally decide to invest in race day shoes, I did get the Saucony, I forget the name. I'll put them on screen or show a picture, but wore those in New York. I also got a second pair of those in a different color and wore those for CIM. Actually never tried any other carbon plated shoe because I do love those and I love the way they look. I am curious about the Nike Alpha Flies or Vapor, whatever they're called. But also it's like, it's not that serious. I don't think I need a freaking speedy shoe. Let me know what's in your rotation. It's funny because I feel like some people will really hype up certain shoes and then I've tried them and they're just like not comfortable for me, or like they take a while to break in. So it really does vary person to person. My favorite shoes might not be the perfect shoe for you. It can be helpful to know what other people are wearing or running in because maybe you never even knew that this shoe existed. But yeah, let me know what you guys are currently running in. Ooh, okay. Long-term fitness goals, someone wants to know. Long-term fitness goals, I just want to be agile and mobile and moving when I'm at the ripe age of 80+ years old. Strong bones, still have muscle, and be capable to do everyday things, because I feel like those are things, like when we're young and able, we take those things for granted. There will come a time when our bodies will slow and not work as well as they used to. I want to be able to prolong that for as long as I can. I just want to keep training for as long as I can, really. It's like the big picture goal is just for longevity. That should be in everyone's head. And I feel like if more people thought about that, it would get them to start working out more. But I feel like it can be like, you don't see those effects till later on. So maybe people are like, oh, what does it matter? Really, I think that would help a lot of people get into fitness and just taking their fitness more seriously. Take it from a longevity perspective. Think of it as like a lifetime investment, not just a way to get in shape or look good for this event or that event. Just want to have some aspects of fitness integrated into my life. Moving daily and having fun. That is my updated Instagram bio, by the way, which feels very me. It's just me to my core. If we're talking bucket list kind of fitness goals, I would say it would be pretty cool to do all the world majors. But I'm not saying that I have to do them all in the next couple of years. I think that would be a cool lifetime goal to eventually have done all the world majors, which I mean now is 7. I think there's 7. I've done New York. I'm doing London soon. That's pretty cool. I feel like that's a pretty good freaking start. I'm so lucky to have had the opportunity to train for both of those races and to have done New York, and then we'll be doing London soon. Because of that, I feel like I have to continue this journey. Chicago, Berlin, Tokyo, Boston. See, Boston is the one that makes this more of like a lifetime goal, because it's like, am I gonna qualify for Boston right now? You think I can run a 3:20 something, 3:15 marathon? I don't think so. That's not happening. I'm sorry. But maybe I have a chance of Boston qualifying as I get older. Maybe in my 40s, 50s. We'll see. And yeah, they recently added Sydney to that list of world majors, and then in the future they're gonna add even more. So I think that would be cool, because traveling for a marathon I think is such a fun way to see the world. You get to run the city streets, but then also while you're out there you get to explore and make a trip out of it. I think that would be a fun goal, and to one day receive that big old chunky medal. But yes, the sun is starting to set, my camera is dying, and also my memory card is running a little low. So we might have to wrap up this chit chatty Q&A sesh here. I feel like I didn't answer as many questions in this, but it definitely touched on a bunch of topics that I've been wanting to talk about and that have just been very at the forefront of my mind, I suppose. If you guys have more questions for me, definitely feel free to leave them down below. You can either film another Q&A or integrate them into another vlog. I think that's always fun too, is like Q&As while I'm actually doing other things rather than just sitting here and talking straight to the camera. Hopefully you enjoyed nonetheless. If you did, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Wow, I feel like I have not done my outro in a while. Thank you so much for joining me for a little matchy, a little snacky. That is it for this video. I will see you guys in the next one.